Hello pilots! In search of new challenges as a chicane pilot, I tried out a tactic in an escalation game without jets. The aim is to take off with a chicane or an ibis from North Boscali Aviation immediately after the start of the round and then set course for the shard that is heading for Virgil K. I've always been bothered to attack the small island with a helicopter, but this time I wanted to know what you can achieve in combination with a shard. The basic idea is that I won't be attacked as long as I'm on the shard. This allows me to get close to the enemy unnoticed and then open fire from a safe distance. In addition, I can always rearm my loadout at the Corvette. In my attempt in the escalation game, I did it with an ibis. With this, I was able to conquer Virgil K in the end. I told about it in a stream and it was suggested to me to make a simple mission out of it. So that's what I did. However, it's not a one-to-one copy of the starting situation in escalation mode. But I enjoyed the mission and call it Snail Wayl. It can be found as usual in the workshop. The link is in the video description. I fast-forwarded a lot of sequences to break down the 30 minutes. At some stalls I comment on what happens, so have fun with the gameplay. I choose a chicane with AGM-48s, ATP-1s and MMRS-3s, but you can also play the mission with an ibis or tarantula. It is important to stay under the radar, which is why I fly very low to the Corvette. There are some bolt strikes and of course Stratolance launchers positioned on the island, a bit like in the escalation game.
Welcome on board. Let's go.
Since the shard travels at only 72 km per hour, it takes quite a long time until it arrives at the island. That's why I've added a few objectives to the mission for in between. These include a few vehicles, but above all OTBs, which are more used for target practice and pastime.
Two crickets on R6.
The shard automatically attacks all incoming missiles, which in my opinion wastes an enormous number of missiles. While flying, I noticed that it is not necessarily worth extending the landing gear to land. It's enough if you are close to the shard and have the same speed. And you can also land softly without landing gear. The mission is structured in such a way that as soon as you land on the shard at the beginning, an OTB tracks the shard. At the end, this is to take over the airport on the island, for which the OTB has 2 vehicles on board. An AFV-6 APC and an AFV-6 AA. Sometimes it was more pleasant to float next to the shard. It seems to be a good protection against enemy radar detection in itself. Behind it I can always break the line of sight if necessary. With the first targets on the island, I tested the range from which I can hit the targets. The shard starts firing AGM-48s at 10 kilometers. But it turns out that the opponent was able to fend off everything. After all, it also has a laser sieves and a CRAM. But it was possible to neutralize the first position. To uncover targets further inside the island, I flew a small arc. Every now and then a cricket starts and buzzes through the air. But the crickets only have machine guns, so they are just cannon fodder.
VRS. Yes.
After destroying all relevant ground targets, the friendly OTB should try to take the airport. While I was waiting for it, I flew a bit over the facility and passed the time with a few crickets that didn't want to stop spawning. However, I burnt myself a bit in the process. After a while, the OTB set out to land. But for reasons unknown to me, it did not unload the vehicles. Maybe I chose the wrong ones?
VRS.
Quite frustrated, I then started shooting at the OTB. However that worked, I'm definitely open for suggestions for improvement. Thanks for watching, fly safe.